Well, hey folks, how y'all doing? Welcome back. And oh man, what do you got going on here today, Tom? Well, I've got the Blackstone tailgate combo here. And before I even season this thing up and start cooking on it, I wanted to do a couple modifications. First modification is super simple to do. I'm going to show you how to do it today. I've had two other Blackstone griddles in my time, the 28-inch, and on both of them I built a wind guard. Now the wind guard, what it does is that, take it off there. We've got that gap in there, and if it's a windy day, it'll affect your heat on your griddle. So all I've done is I've taken some sheet metal, and you can see what I did. I put two tabs on there, and they just slide on and they slide off. And I got three of them. Folks, you can do this for less than, well, if you get your sheet metal, it's cheap, probably less than $5, but I'm gonna say less than 10, even if you're picking it up like a Home Depot or something like that. And obviously I've painted it. And like I said, I'm going to show you how to do this with just some simple, basic hand tools. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at some of the hand tools you can do this with. All right, that's all you need to make this mod, folks. A utility knife, a file, straight edge. It doesn't even have to be a square. It can just be something nice and straight. A pair of pliers, some tin snips, sanding block. That's all you need, folks. Tell you what, keep on watching, and I'll show you how you can build this yourself. All right, folks, so this is what I got. You can see it's just sheet, don't get anything that's galvanized, just regular sheet metal. It's 22 gauge, 6x18, that's perfect. Now what we gotta do is we need to split these in half, and let's show you. I'm gonna try and do this with just kind of like hand tools, so you can see an easy way of doing it. All right, so now all I'm using is a straight edge. I got a square that I'm using, and I got it set at 3 inches. I've got a clamp on there, and all I'm gonna use is a knife. And utility knife. I'm just going to score this a bunch of times. Hopefully I scored it enough where I can bend it and it'll split on that score. So let's give it a shot. All right, so I've scored it on both sides, and what I'm doing now is I am clamping it down. I've got my score line right there on the edge of the workbench. I'm going to clamp one side to it, and then I'm actually put another piece of wood and clamp that wood to this, and then I'm going to go work it up and down, and it should break. So let me get the other one clamped on there and we'll show you. All right, so I got one by on each side of the line, and then like I said, the cut is right on the edge of the workbench, and I'm just gonna use my clamps here, and you gotta keep them tight though, Tom. Goodness gracious, don't press that. And you're just gonna work it back and forth until she 22 gauge is tough stuff. And you just keep on going back and forth like that. And there's your cut. So with a little bit of work, it does work. Nice straight line. We did that with hand tools, folks. So we're going to break the edges, and I tell you what, it's going to be almost done. There, nice round the corner. All right, now that they're cut, you want to break the edges, folks. And if you got a sanding block, coarse one, you can just use that back and forth. I'm going to cheat. All right, so that's how we're going to hang them on there. Super simple to do. I did cheat and use a couple power tools, but you're going to see it's just going to go on like that. And you slide it either way, and you can go there. We're going to go here. We're going to do all three of them. It'll cover up that gap and try and keep the wind out, and try and keep your griddle top warmer. Even fits in the gap on the other side. So someone's going to ask the question, why not use magnets? And I thought about that too. But then in the back of my mind, I remembered something about heat in magnets. And it turns out that above 176 degrees, magnets lose their magnetic properties. They get better as they get colder, but they get worse as they get warmer. And then I think around 220 degrees, they lose all their magnetism. So we know this griddle top is going to get hotter than that. So that's why we're doing it this way. Let me, this is the first one I did. Let me show you another one and how you can do it too. So using hand tools, I did this one, and I just took a sheet metal shears. If you have one of those, you'd have to get one of those in order to do that. You can't use the utility knife. That won't work in this case. But you could use a hacksaw. That would work. And then I'm just using a kind of a flat pliers. I'm making sure that when I'm doing it, that it's wide enough for the pliers. First one I did wasn't. And then I'm just bending it over. And then to get that gap in there is I just got a piece of scrap wood that's about the same thickness, and I'm putting that underneath there, and then I'm using a hammer to pound it to get it to that thickness. So, you know, if you've got some scrap wood laying around, otherwise, you know, pick some up, and that'll work real good. So I'll show you how I did it with the power tools. It's a really complicated layout here, folks. I'm using my sanding block, and I'm using that as a gauge from both sides, and I got a piece of 3/4 inch scrap that I'm just laying in there, and I'm just tracing it, and that's what I'm doing, and I'll do that on the other side here too. All right, so I got 2 of them clamped in there. Did my layout. I'm using my bench hold down clamp, folks. These are really nice. If you got a workbench, you want something. I did a review on these. Tom Horseman at YouTube, and I've got 2 other ones holding there, and then. If you're a homeowner, folks, and you're looking for a versatile tool, I'll tell you what, a scroll saw. I got a metal cutting blade in there, and a lot of people don't know that you can do that. So this one is the Bosch. You know, I'm not really endorsing it. It is a very nice scroll saw. Blade change is a little confusing, but it works. You got to read the little pictograms down there, and you pull this thing up, and you turn it around, and it snaps, and then it comes out, and then you go the other way, and it locks it in. So I know that's enough. Hush, will you? Get the cutting. Just like that. So I just kind of want to get even bends here, and that's why I got a 1x clamped on there, and I'm just using my pliers here and just going to bend it up a little bit, and that way I know that it's bending at the right spot. And then we'll take off our clamps. Board here, got a mess, and I just want to work it vertical, and you can do that with your thumb, just like that, kind of take it over past center. Now I'm going to put my piece of scrap in there, and I'm actually going to take another one of my blanks because I want to get this thing a little bit thicker. So we'll put that in there. And it doesn't have to line up on anything, folks. And you just take a hammer, you gotta find your hammer, and then just pound it. Do the other one real quick so you can see that. Remember, super simple to do. If I can do it, so can you. And there you go. Let's go over here and see if it fits. And super simple. So you're gonna want to break these edges. I'm gonna break these edges. I'm gonna cheat, use power tools, and break that edge. And then you can call it good at that point. But you know what? I'm gonna probably sand a little bit, and I'm gonna spray paint mine. And you're wondering, oh, what are you gonna use for spray paint, Tom? Well, you could probably use anything. It's not gonna get that hot. Regular spray paint can handle a heck of a lot of temperature, but I've got this Rust-Oleum High Heat Ultra, and this stuff says it's, wait, can you see that? Get you out of the glare. 1,200 degrees it can handle. So that's what we're going to paint it with. This ain't going to get more than 1,200 degrees. So I think it was, you know, a really easy project to do. It's, you know, it's going to help that wind from getting in there and cooling off your griddle. And like I said, we did it mostly with hand tools. You can do it with hand tools. I cheated and used power tools. If you have them, use them. I hope this was helpful, folks. Leave a comment, thumbs up, Tom Horseman on YouTube. And as always, appreciate you watching.